each have one win, and defending manufacturers champion Chevrolet still searches for their first victory. Their hopes lie with defending series champion Scott Sharp as the Trans Am cars let it all hang out. The Tide Trans Am Series travels to Portland International Raceway in the scenic Pacific Northwest. And ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. With the picturesque beauty of a snow-capped Mount Hood in the background, we welcome you to a splendid day in the Pacific Northwest. It is unseasonably hot, temperature in the mid-80s, as we welcome you to Portland International Raceway, the scene today of the third round of the 1992 SCCA Trans Am Series. Hello, I'm Gary Gerald, and what a season it's already been. The Ford Mustang winning on the streets at Long Beach. And then it was the Dodge Daytona at Belle Isle in Detroit just 2 weeks ago. Chevrolet winless thus far this year, but Scott Sharp is represented in the front row here at Portland today. And look at the manufacturers' championship points. Chevrolet, despite being winless, on top of the standings, but only 2 points.
There are big changes here at Portland. This has been a great racetrack for Trans Am racing in the past. They have enhanced it this year with this new chicane. It has given them a new legitimate passing zone, but it's very, very tight. Now, these Trans Am cars, they run very close, door handle to door handle, so two cars under braking will have a lot of difficulty making it through the chicane. We could see fireworks down there.
Now, we mentioned that Sharp starts in the front row, but he doesn't start from the pole. Bobby Archer, with the first Dodge pole in history, gets that honor today. And Jan Beekes, who joins us today on our broadcast team, is in the pits, ready to talk to Archer right now.
Well, Gary, Bobby Archer not only has got the first pole position for Chrysler, but his first of his Trans Am career. Bobby, you have a very wide straightaway, but a narrow first turn. What will the strategy be?
Well, right now the big plan is just to get through the first corner smoothly in one piece. The last couple races, some of the drivers have gotten a little overambitious and taken out the front guys. So I'm just going to try to get as far ahead as I can.
We wish you well. Bobby Archer, first time from the front, ready to gas it.
Drivers, start your engines.
So the engines have roared to life in the front row of Bobby Archer and Scott Sharp, separated in qualifying by a mere 0.06 of a second. Lead a 25-car field now onto the front straightaway. Today's Speed World coverage of the Trans Am competition at Portland International Raceway is brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tires, and by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Don't wait for this kind of excitement. Get Auto Week. Don't wait for racing news. Get Auto Week. Call 1-800-238-8200 for a full year of Auto Week at the special TV price of $19.95, just 38 cents an issue. Stop waiting. Do it now. Call 1-800-238-8200 for the News Weekly of Motoring.
These championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Alistair Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. The checkered flag is out. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Back at Portland, the field now on its final pace lap, getting ready for a green flag as we check out the starting grid. Archer and Sharp represent row #1. In the second row, two great contenders in Jack Baldwin and Tommy Archer. Keep in mind, Tommy won the last race at Belle Isle in Detroit. In the third row, George Robinson and Wayne Akers. They've been tough contenders throughout the early season. In the fourth row, Ron Fellows, currently second in points, and Jim Derhaag will be traveling on board with Fellows with an onboard camera. Bill Mayer makes his first Trans Am start. The former Olympic gold medalist in skiing will be in the fifth row. Taking a look through the rest of the field, Keep an eye on Walter Payton, former NFL great, starting in the 8th row. Mark Beelsticker won this race 12 years ago. But the row to keep an eye on, back in the pack, Gentilozzi and Pickett at row 10. Had problems, missed a pre-race weigh-in, were delegated to the back of the pack. They had qualified among the top 10, so we know they're fast. We'll see how they can move from the back of the field. The field nicely aligned now as we go on board for the first time. 85 degrees. That's about 13, 14 degrees above normal for this time of year in Portland. It is a magnificent day, but the heat perhaps could be a factor in this one. The pace car ducks in. Derek Daly, we are ready for a green flag, and we're going to keep our eye on that all-important road course change in turn number 1 as Archer and Sharp put the hammer down, and we are ready to go racing at Portland International Raceway. A colorful sight as the green flag is displayed. Archer jumps into the lead. Baldwin there to challenge, and here comes now that first turn. Already contact.
Scott Sharp looks as if he did make contact with the pole sitter Bobby Archer, but just look how tight the road is down here, and it was 2 and 3 abreast on the way into that chicane. Well, they all made it through safety. Bobby Archer now leading, but that's Scott Sharp within 1 car length.
It seems like that every time we have gone Trans Am racing, we've seen nose-to-tail, side-by-side competition. That appears to be the case once again at Portland. Everybody safely through that first 2 turns, and now they wind toward the carousel with Archer, who started from the pole on top. Sharp running in the 2nd position, and his teammate Baldwin, also in a Camaro, runs in the number 3 spot as they now sort themselves out on the opening lap.
And the first step in Bobby Archer's plan is falling into place. He said earlier in the interview he just wants to make it through that first lap nice and cleanly and try and get away in one piece. It's exactly what he did. Look at him bounce over the curves down at this very fast left-right chicane at the end of the back straight.
This is Walter Payton, who apparently had some problems. He is back getting up to speed in car number 34, driving with the Tom Gloy stable. They had changed to Mustang after earlier starting this year. Payton 22nd at Long Beach, 27th at Detroit, hoping for a much stronger finish here in Portland today, but having difficulties on the opening lap, and the rest of the field now far in front of him. Meanwhile, back up on front, it's Bobby Archer who has the lead. Sharp, Baldwin runs 2nd and 3rd. Tommy Archer, brother to Bobby, currently in the number 4 position. As we take a look at the leader.
And the Archer brothers, as we watch
We've got a problem here. Yeah, Phil Mayer has pulled into the pits, and what a disappointing start, Derek.
Well, I don't know what that sign means, but I think it says he is out for the day. In fact, it's up by the first chicane. Looks as if he went straight on. Yeah, the engine is obviously not running, so they're going to just push him away. So Phil Mayer's day finishes very quickly.
Well, we thought it was the pits initially, but we can see corner workers getting him off course. Payton has visited the pits and come back out as we go back up front with our leader. Bobby Archer on top, Scott Sharp, who started 2nd, running 2nd. Baldwin is 3rd, and then it's Tommy Archer in the 4th position. Looks like George Robinson in the number 5 spot. So we'll go back now, and maybe we can find out what happened to the 03 car driven by Phil Mayer.
This is under heavy braking for the new chicane. It's down to 2nd gear, and look at this. Mayer never had a chance. Whatever went, just clips the marker cone on the left-hand side. Doesn't do any damage to the car there, but it looks as if just something broke or something, the engine stopped or something. He just pulls off, but his day looks as if it's definitely over.
Mayer showed speed in last year's series in a handful of events that he attempted to compete in, and this was his first outing of 1992, and it's a disappointing start. Whether or not he'll be able to get back in the competition, we'll just have to wait and see. And right now, the Dodge, driven by Archer, holding on to about a 4-car length lead.
2 sets of teammates here in the first 4 positions. Of course, the Chevrolet teammates are in the sandwich between the Chrysler cars here, but these Archer brothers really have turned the Trans Am racing upside down. They appeared with a brand new team. A lot of people thought they would not be that good in Trans Am cars, and really they are proving a point of just how good they are and how good a job they have done building these new Dodge cars, as we're now inside the Ford Mustang of Ron Fellows.
Fellows currently running in 6th position. He is 2nd in points. He's been a contender in the early events at Long Beach and Detroit. He's stalking the leaders right now as they come onto the front straightaway, sweep under the crossover bridge, and look at this shot as we see Trans Am, America's Hot Rod Showcase, coming right at us at Portland International Raceway. No change in the order up front. It's still Archer on top, Sharp running second, Baldwin is third, the other Archer is fourth, and rounding out the top five is Robinson. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Portland, one of the men we're keeping an eye on is Paul Gentilozzi. Remember, because of the penalty, he and Greg Pickett started back in the 10th row, and already the 75 car of Gentilozzi has moved into the top 10. He is now listed in 8th position, so he has made a charge and has gained 11 spots in the early going.
We saw Tommy Archer make a lunge down the inside of Jack Baldwin, trying to take the pass from him as we picked up Paul Gentilozzi. But Gentilozzi, furious at the penalty of being pushed to the back of the grid. He had a disappointing run at Detroit 2 weeks ago where he crashed out of the event. But Paul Gentilozzi making good headway here.
And this coming from the back of the pack is becoming a recurrent theme. We had a similar situation because of a variety of tire and engine problems for Scott Sharp and Ron Fellows at Detroit. They made spectacular charges, and Greg Pickett, who was involved in a first lap incident there, came from the back of the pack to finish second. So it can be done. Now we're looking at Tommy Archer challenging right off the backside of the blue and white and yellow car of Baldwin. This is a race for third place right here. Baldwin in 25, Tommy Archer in car number 3, the Dodge team car, to his brother Bobby, who has the lead here at Portland. And they fan out on the front straightaway.
And look what Jack Baldwin does. The line he takes is the very middle of the road line, which means he puts off any possible attack from Tommy Archer coming down the inside. But one of the things the Archer brothers have worked particularly hard on with these Dodge Daytonas is the braking. They really feel the brakes are very, very good on these cars. They think they do have an advantage.
Let's go back on board once again with Ron Fellows, the fight for 5th place. That's George Robinson in car 74, directly in front of Fellows.
And you can see the throttle mechanism on the left side of the picture there. You can see how he used the throttle to balance the car. We're inside with Ron Fellows. You can in fact hear it also, hear the engine noise. Right below the Aloha Bob and Allen sign there. Allen or Ellen?
Get a good feel for what it's like to be inside a Trans Am car. And now we've got Gentilozzi trying to pick up a position. And look at this. He is by Ron Fellows, and he is now challenging for a top 5 position. Gentilozzi driving with a vengeance, who started back in that 10th row, and he has made up a tremendous amount of ground.
That was a really good pass by Gentilozzi. Very, very aggressive. Made no mistake about it whatsoever. Now look at him down the inside of George Robinson, and he makes the pass down inside him also. So Gentilozzi, definitely the man on the move.
He had qualified 3rd, but right now it seems to be clear that this is the fastest car on the circuit at Portland. He has come from the 10th row. He's cracked the top 5, and Paul Gentilozzi is putting on a show for the folks here at Portland. Now, as we watch the leader, actually, this is Tommy Archer, who is running back in 4th place, or at 3rd place now. Let's go to the pit. Jan Beekes with a report on tires today. Jan?
Well, the pace that they're running at the front, we want to keep very close eye on, Gary. That is because last year they had 4 tires to choose from: a 240, a 430, a 600, and a 620. But to keep the cost down, now what they've done is they brought it down to 2 compounds. These are the 4 tires from the Archer Brothers car. This is a 600, the hard compound. The higher the number, the harder the tire. This here is a 430. He has 3 of the 600s, but on the right front is using the softer tire. Now, he thought that he wished they would have had the 620 available. In other words, the harder tire, because he thinks you can't run flat out with a 600 or you'll burn the tires off the car. Gentilozzi is moving up through the field. We'll have to see if we'll have tires left in the end.
Well, Jan, this is a 52-lap race, and you've got to be strong on lap 52 as you are early. And right now, the story is Gentilozzi in the 75 car, who started so far back, and he has now bulled his way into the top 5 here at Portland with a spectacular run. But you have to wonder, has he used up the tires? Can he be this effective in the later stages of the race?
And the nearer he gets to the front, the more difficult the job becomes, because the faster guys are ahead of him. But also, Tommy Archer did manage to pass Jack Baldwin to move into that 3rd position.
Well, we, of course, have seen a great improvement of the Dodge Daytona since their debut at Long Beach. And Jan Beekes gives us now a closer look at the latest winner on the Trans Am Tour.
The Dodge Daytonas of Bobby and Tommy Archer made their Trans Am debut in Long Beach and was the first for Chrysler since 1967. And although their performance was adequate, the car has undergone a development program which produced a win in only its second event at Detroit. The areas that they were concentrating on, first of all, was in the radiator area. They have gone to a larger radiator which helps cool the Chrysler power plant so they can get all the power that's available. Joey Arrington is the engine builder, and he is son of NASCAR driver Buddy Arrington. Most of his experience has been in oval track racing, and now he's learned how to expand the power band to be able to use on a road circuit all the power available. They've also made a change here in the shock absorber area. That is to control the wheel movement to keep the tires glued to the road. There has been changes here, aerodynamic, subtle changes. This particular flap keeps the air from coming into the cockpit, which would cause turbulent flow going by the car. They've paid attention here to the driver comfort area to make sure that Bobby and Tommy stay planted in the car so they can feel exactly what's happening behind the wheel. The change here has taken place also with a differential. They want to make sure the cars get all the grip coming off the corners, and it's all part of a development program to make sure that Bobby and Tommy in these Dodge Daytonas stay right at the front.
Here's Gentilozzi with another challenge. The Archers have taken first and second. Sharp now is third, and Gentilozzi has just moved up to the number 4 spot. That 75 car is flying. Having come from deep in the pack, he just muscled his way past Jack Baldwin. He has posted the fastest lap of competition as we suspected thus far. And what a run as he closes in now on the backside of that 33 Camaro right in front of him, driven by defending Trans Am champion Scott Sharp.
Well, sometimes you get everything right. You change and you work on these cars, and you hope if you make more changes that it is particularly good as we watch first and second place go through. And Gentilozzi is ahead of Scott Sharp. Now he sets out after the Dodge Daytonas, but definitely Gentilozzi is having his day in the sunshine today.
Is he ever? And if you're Scott Sharp and you're Jack Baldwin, you're wondering how in the world could this be happening? Or do you think they've taken the conservative stance, Derek? They know they're going to save the tires for the late stages of the race.
Well, I don't know, but Gentilozzi is being very, very aggressive. You can see him fight that car, particularly under braking and down through that fast S's. He's very good under braking, and that was one of the areas of the Dodge Daytonas. The Archer brothers told me that car was particularly good. So it's not going to take very many laps. In fact, the traffic's going to hold the Daytonas up a little bit. Gentilozzi's right behind him now.
Scott Sharp trying to challenge again as they get into that new portion of the circuit. You can see the change from asphalt to concrete as they swing through and then back onto the regular asphalt racing surface.
Oh, look at Gentilozzi. Did you see that? He sticks the outside tires on the grass. He is using the racetrack and the grass if necessary in a very determined bid. I hope he doesn't get himself into trouble, particularly with a traffic situation, but he is closing in again on the Daytonas.
Let's check in the pits now with the Gentilozzi crew as we go to Jan Beekes.
David Warfel is the crew chief for Paul Gentilozzi. Paul's making a move through the field. I mean, has he radioed to you? Can he keep the tires on the car?
No, he hasn't said anything. The car seems to be running really good, and we're just going along with our plan.
It's really exciting. Obviously, the front guys are keeping back, holding back their tires, but he's just standing on the gas. From your experience, is he going to have tires left at the end?
Yeah, we figured we could run hard the whole race and still have tires at the end.
Thank you.
Well, that's the word from the Gentilozzi crew. They're excited, obviously, and why not? What a run from that 10th row now to third position. Bobby Archer in 32, your leader. Tommy Archer in number 3 is second. There's Gentilozzi in 75. The 33 car is Sharp, and then Baldwin is in the number 5 position. Here's Fellows in number 6, car number 4, and the 6th number on the car, that's Greg Pickett. He started in that 10th row alongside the hard-charging Gentilozzi. So Pickett has made up a lot of room, and look at him throwing sideways there.
Oh, he gets it sideways too. He uses the grass, kicks up the dust with those outside rear wheels. Remember, he also had a spectacular drive in Detroit where he came from the back. He started 19th, and he's currently 7th, and they're all in a line. So Trans Am Racing once again produces spectacular stuff.
And Greg Pickett won here at Portland 8 years ago, 1984. So he knows what it's like to win on this race circuit. As we look at Jack Baldwin in car number 25, he now and his teammate right in front of him, Sharp have been pushed back a couple of spots in the early going after the spectacular charge by Gentilozzi.
Now, we mentioned earlier, the Gentilozzi's job gets a little bit more difficult the nearer he gets to the front runners, because obviously they're the faster cars. He's only inching away at that lead now that Tommy Archer has over him. Ever so slowly he closes in the gap, but under braking, I think, in the infield section is where he hopes to make up most of it.
Taking a look at the high-speed portion of the front straightaway, and now they hit the brakes as they set up for that first right-hander, and then they come back 90 degrees to the left.
And Pickett tried to, and he did make it. We saw Pickett try to come down the inside under that very heavy braking inside Ron Fellows. He did actually make the pass. Then they got onto the concrete, and you saw the cars crisscross over. But Greg Pickett, once again, picks up yet another position.
Pickett in car number 6 has now moved up to the number 6 position. So he and Gentilozzi have been the story in the early going, coming from deep in the pack. They started 19th and 20th. They are now running 3rd and 6th. This is Greg Pickett in car number 6, the veteran driver. He has been around this Trans Am competition for such a long time. The 1978 champion, a man who has 14 career Trans Am wins to his credit. He smells the opportunity for another great finish today in Portland.
Ron Fellows still chasing him, but there's about 3 or 4 car lengths now, so Ron Fellows not having the ideal setup that he would like, because he's not in a challenging position, he's just in a maintenance position at the moment.
Come off the final turn again onto the front straightaway. Lots of room to get into position if you think you can outbrake someone going into that new turn. We'll see what happens here now as Baldwin is right behind Sharp, but the teammates continue to run confidently together in the number 4 and number 5 positions.
The Hot Wheels sponsorship on Jack Baldwin's car. He had Hot Wheels here last year. He led most of this race and then ran out of fuel. The fuel tanks have since been enlarged in these Chevrolet cars, so he won't have that trouble today. But this is the teammates here. They were very, very good in Detroit. Again, Baldwin almost won last week, or the last race, and it was taken away from him through a puncture. Anything can happen in racing.
Back on board with Fellows now. We'll run through the full field to let you see where your favorite driver is running as of the last laps. See, Pickett was listed in the number 7 spot. He has since moved up a position. Jeff Davis in his debut this season, running in the 10th spot currently. Davis, incidentally, is driving the same car that Stu Hainer drove to a 3rd place finish here at Portland a year ago after a controversial start. He was black flagged for jumping to start, went to the back of the field, and he finished 3rd. So that's the way they stand here at Portland, the 3rd round of the 1992 SCCA Tide Trans Am Tour. Back at Portland, we are under yellow. You see the safety car leading the tightly bunched field around the track. An incident that caused a minor delay. There was a Jim McGuire spin in the number 90 Camaro. The Arizona driver backed it in over the grass. And then the most unusual thing happened. As the flame belched out the side of the car, nothing unusual there. It caught some of the dry grass on fire. And crews had to be summoned to put out the smoldering bits of grass there before we could go back green. We are told that we are about to get a green flag. In fact, we anticipated the next time by. You see Fellows snap the visor down into position as he anticipates the restart. You've got the brothers Archer leading. Gentilozzi, who started back in 19th, is running 3rd, and you can see the single file procession. Ron Fellows in the number 6 car currently in the 6th position onto the front straightaway, beginning to pick up the speed. The safety car has pulled off. Keep an eye on the 75 car of Gentilozzi trying to make his move. A pair of Dodges driven by the Archers on top. Gentilozzi, Sharp, Baldwin, they fan out, and now hang on to your hat as they come to that redesigned first turn. Here's Gentilozzi looking for position. He ducks inside as they make the left-hander, challenging for 2nd. Will he be able to make it stick? Sharp from the number 4 spot. It's still Bobby Archer on top. Contact back in the pack as they string out coming through that hairpin, but we believe that Gentilozzi was able to bulldoze his way into the 2nd position.
And bulldoze his way is exactly what he did do. He went round the outside, believe it or not, of Tommy Archer under braking. Then they went in side by side. Suddenly there was no more room left. They banged each other's door handles, but Gentilozzi came out on top. He got the position. Now he runs 2nd, but look at the Dodge Daytona right on his rear quarter panel again.
The tires have had a chance to cool down under the yellow. That was a concern for Gentilozzi, who made that charge from the 10th row. Now he's got cooler tires, and he has moved to second place, trying to withstand a challenge, however, from Tommy Archer. Bobby Archer continues to lead. Sharp continues to be fourth. We've got some drama unfolding here at Portland International Raceway as we complete another lap.
And we saw Gentilozzi change his line coming down that back straight, move to the middle of the road, therefore making it very difficult for Tommy Archer to make an attempt at a pass. But Gentilozzi now second. An excellent race, a spectacular run so far. Gentilozzi was not going to do many races in the Trans Am Series this year, but things have gone so... Look at this, he gets a little bump in the back. But the things have gone so well for him that he says now he may do 8 or 10 races, but his hands are full. His hands are full right now with Tommy Archer.
Tommy Archer nipping away, almost contact right there. This is the race for second place.
It is so easy to put a car off the road here. A little touch on the inside quarter panel when the car is in a full drift through these corners. I'm not saying they'd like to do that, but when cars run this closely, anything can happen. We've seen it many, many times in Trans Am racing.
Gentilozzi's top finish this year, the season opener, second at Long Beach. Now let's go down to the pits and check in again with our colleague Jan Mikas.
During that caution period, Gary, most drivers will radio back to the pits. But with the Archer brothers, they can talk to each other. They were planning the strategy back and forth what they wanted to do. And now, of course, they've lost one position. There is a third Archer brother. Believe it or not, there's 5 altogether. And we have him here with us. He is talking to them on the radio also. He has visions of getting behind the wheel. What was that strategy that they planned during the caution period? What was that strategy and what didn't work?
Well, they mostly discussed how each other's car was working, where one works better than the other, where they could gain ground on someone trying to catch him, where Bobby could tell Tommy where he could do this here, hopefully keep us in the lead.
What was the response to what happened when Gentilozzi got by?
We'll wait out and see what happens. Cars are working real good. The Goodyear tires are excellent today. We're having no problems with Dodgers. You know, the Shelzo Daytonas are just perfect. I think we'll be good shape.
Thanks.
All right, Jan. Another excited Archer brother. 2 Archers on track right now, sandwiched on either side of Paul Gentilozzi. Gentilozzi smoking a break. It looked like there a little bit of a tire smoke as he comes in with a 75 car right behind the leader, Bobby Archer. Now, on that restart, when we got the green, we had a little bit of a problem for Ron Fellows. Let's go back and take a look at that now from his onboard camera.
Look at the traffic jam into the chicane. Fellows is down the outside. Now he's in trouble. Look, he got contact. Oh, bang, up over the curves. And he hit Scott Sharp also. Wow. Oh, a lot of damage. Metal-to-metal contact there. He just simply ran out of room around the outside.
And look at this. Here comes Gentilozzi now, challenging for the lead. They move to the first turn. Gentilozzi noses in front. Bobby Archer now second. Tommy Archer is third. Scott Sharp is fourth. And our first lead change of the afternoon at Portland. What a run by Gentilozzi, who started 19th and now has the lead. Can he hold on to that top spot as the Archers regroup? And here's problems for Mark Peelsticker, the number 99 car, the driver from Hayward, California in the Camaro. Of course, you can see the yellows waving there. That's down in the vicinity of that first turn. It has claimed another victim. Whether or not Peelsticker will be able to get restarted and back into the competition, we'll hang on to see. Peelsticker, who won here 12 years ago, not in a position to do so in 1992. We'll be back with more from Portland right after this. Back at Portland under yellow, Paul Gentilozzi, who's made the dramatic run from deep in the pack, is the leader. The Archer brothers run second and third. Scott Sharp and his teammate Jack Baldwin complete the top 5 as we take a look now at the top 10. We're anticipating the green the next time by, but before the green, let's take a look at how Gentilozzi made the move here, first to get second place, Derek.
Spectacular stuff here by Paul Gentilozzi. He's made to work hard. He has to go down the outside. Now he's 2 abreast. Now there's no room, so he muscles his way on the inside. Bang, they touch there. Now he's got second place.
Now, while that was happening, let's go on board with Ron Fellows. This was his view, and this was the result. Look and listen as he takes a tough ride in the new turn.
Now that sounded like an expensive mechanic's nightmare.
And now here is how Gentilozzi got the lead on the next lap.
And this was superb stuff. Under heavy braking, car bobs and weaves, but he takes the lead in a nice, clean move. Spectacular stuff this afternoon by Gentilozzi.
So Paul Gentilozzi, whose best this year was a second-place finish in the season opener at Long Beach, had disappointment at Belle Isle in Detroit 2 weeks ago, now in command. But can he hold off the challenge as he has Bobby Archer, Tommy Archer, Scott Sharp right behind him, picking up speed, anticipating a restart. The green flag has been displayed, and they power toward that challenging first turn, but this time it's Gentilozzi who leads the single-file procession.
Ron Fellows comes down the inside. You see him sneak down the inside. He is moving up very rapidly. He would move back to 12th place after that chicane incident. Obviously, no serious damage done to the car. But Ron Fellows, we follow him inside. That's the red brake lights, that Camaro right ahead of him. Now, he's probably quite a bit slower than Fellows, so Fellows is anxious to make a pass here. But look how tight it is. No room to pass. Tries to go down the inside, and the car ahead of him moves down to the inside.
Back up front, it's still Gentilozzi, the number 75 car, who has the lead. The Michigan driver taking over in mid-race from Bobby Archer, who started from the pole. Bobby and Tommy run second and third. It's Sharp who's racing fourth. His teammate Baldwin is fifth. No change, but tightly grouped where anyone can attack and make a challenge.
And make a challenge is something that Scott Sharp normally starts to do at about this time in a race. Scott Sharp is very, very good at protecting his equipment, and we've seen him make challenges from about this time in the race many times in the past. We're going to keep a good eye on Scott Sharp. Currently 4th place, and a strong 4th place.
He in fact said yesterday he took extra care in qualifying as we watch the leaders now into that dangerous first and second turn. Little bumping going on here. Gentilozzi slows. The Archers almost get into each other. Now Gentilozzi pulls away. We were starting to say Sharp took particular care yesterday in qualifying to save his tires so they would be ready for the full 52-lap distance today.
And we definitely have red paint on the rear bumper of that Camaro because that Dodge Daytona definitely pushed Gentilozzi in the chicane. That is a second-gear corner, the slowest corner on this racetrack. That's the new constructions they put there this year to enhance racing, create a passing zone, and that seems to be what it has, in fact, done.
And an update right now from the pits and Jan Beekes.
Gary and Derek, you're talking about Scott Sharp making that move. We spoke with Buzz McCall, the team owner. He said lap 20, in other words, 20 laps to go, is when Scott will gas it. We're almost at that point now. That's when they're going to turn him loose. So far, he and his teammate, Jack Baldwin, have been holding back, saving those tires.
Sharp, of course, the man who was the defending series champion, had such a spectacular year last year and winning so many different races, has had some tough luck. He was in position to win at Long Beach and Detroit, but a 4th place at Long Beach, his best this season. We were wondering prior to this race in Portland if there was any added pressure on him.
We certainly wanted to start off the first couple races winning them and pick up where we left off last year, but that really quite hasn't happened. We felt that the Duracell Camaro has been the fastest car in the first 2 races, and we haven't been able to get there at the end of the line when we needed to. So hopefully this Portland will be a sort of a jump start for us, get us going, get us finishing in top points, and hopefully a win's not too far around the corner.
The Hot Wheels entry of Jack Baldwin right behind his teammate Scott Sharp. I'm sure if Scott Sharp makes a move, Baldwin will not want to be too far behind.
Baldwin had a terrific race here at Portland last year, but then ran into I believe it was a fuel problem in the final laps, and that ended up costing him an opportunity to win. They later found a design flaw that was actually keeping him a little short-handed on fuel. He's hoping better fortune this time around in Portland. He currently is in 5th place. That's the blue 25 that just went through the picture. Here's Greg Pickett right behind him. Remember, he had to come from that 10th row with Gentilozzi. He is still very much a factor here, running in 6th place in car number 6. This was off a 2nd place finish in Detroit when he came from the back of the pack.
And just look at this long train of cars here. This is what Trans Am racing has been about, certainly for the last couple of years. Very evenly matched cars, obviously good rules, good rule makers here, but this race, anybody could win from here.
At the midpoint of the race, Gentilozzi the leader. He had led 2 of the 25 laps. Bobby Archer had led the others. We've had a pair of cautions. The average speed just over 72 miles per hour. Gentilozzi from Lansing, Michigan, continues to set the pace in car number 75. Brothers Archer Archer, Bobby and Tommy, second and third, with Sharp and Baldwin in pursuit. Walter Payton in car number 34 getting briefly off course, now getting back under power in the Mustang. Not quite like the old days in the NFL when you ran out of bounds. That terminated play. He gets it right back on course and rejoins the competition. We've got a change between the Archers. For second place is Tommy Archer in car number 3. Has just moved inside his brother Bobby and taken over the runner-up spot behind Gentilozzi. The man who won the last Trans Am race at Detroit is now showing his muscle for the first time today as he's moved by his brother for the first time. And the pass, Derek Daly, again coming at that spot in the newly redesigned portion of the course, just as you had expected.
Having the desired effect. Bobby obviously not able to catch Paul Gentilozzi, so Tommy slides down the inside. Obviously the two brothers do not argue the point here. Tommy gets down the inside. Bobby let him go, gave him plenty of room. So now we'll see whether Tommy has the muscle and the horsepower to reel in Gentilozzi.
Here's Scott Sharp now making his challenge as he gets by the number 32 car of Bobby Archer, but Archer comes right back and reclaims the position. Sharp made his move, took over third place, but only for a moment. Now he's back in fourth. But all of the action again seems to be coming in that same spot on the racing circuit at Portland as we go to the pits in Jan Beekes.
That previous move we saw, Gary, when Tommy went by Bobby, that was because they were in radio communication, and Bobby decided that Tommy's car worked a little better in a couple corners. Decided to let him go to go after Gentilozzi. Also, previous to the race, Bobby told us that, well, keep in mind, Gentilozzi doesn't own that cars. We own ours. Maybe that's why he used that bulldozer technique to get to the front.
Interesting point as we get the head-on look at the brothers Archers running second and third. Sharp is in fourth place in number 33. Paul Gentilozzi is still the leader, and he's begun to open up a bit of distance. This is the race here for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, as Baldwin and Pickett are in fifth and sixth place. Those four cars now close together. The number 1 and 2 spots opening up a bit of daylight.
And Scott Sharp definitely beginning to load his gun a second time here for a second attack on Bobby Archer. It's such a knife-edge situation, but look at Archer now. Goes down the inside, defensive driving to make it very difficult for Scott Sharp to try and get...
Oh, we've got a problem. Contact. Sharp got into the backside, it appears, of Archer. Archer spins. He keeps it running, but he's lost 5 spots as Robinson and Derhaad go by now. He drops a couple of more positions. Ron Fellows, right behind Pickett, also was quick to take advantage, so he now becomes a player in this particular scenario. We have him listed in 7th position. You can see Baldwin and Pickett in front of him. So he has moved up a couple of spots. We'll clarify the positions for you in just a moment. Gentilozzi is still the leader, but the problem for the 32 car of Bobby Archer cost him several spots after contact, it appeared, from behind with Scott Sharp. Now, we want to clarify that situation with Fellows, he may have jumped up to the 5th position as we look at one of the Archer brothers who's talking on the radio with his brothers on the course. Now you see Baldwin trying to protect the position with Pickett right behind.
And of course what's happened now is it's allowed Paul Gentilozzi to stretch out a long, comfortable lead because all these guys are fighting among themselves. And now Scott Sharp again comes down the inside of Ron Fellows. There is so little room down there. Scott Sharp already got his nose chopped off one time. He decides to back off here, take another lunge at Ron Fellows. But this is Trans Am racing, as we've seen it many times in the past. There is lots of contact trying to make these precious positions.
Let's take another look now as Bobby Archer and Scott Sharp got together in this fight coming into turn number 1.
Well, it's easy to see. Scott Sharp seems to have made contact with the back of Bobby Archer's car. Unfortunately, it wasn't a clean event because Scott Sharp had to actually stop on the racetrack and lost a lot of time.
Now let's clarify the positions as Sharp challenges once again. Baldwin had moved up, Pickett had moved up. Sharp regains 1 spot, it appears, as he gets in front of Ron Fellows. So they continue to go at it, hammer and taunt. We mentioned that Archer got out of shape and lost several positions. Well, Sharp also lost positions, but now he's gained 1 of those spots back. Gentilozzi is the leader. Tommy Archer Archer is second. Baldwin now races third. Pickett is running fourth. They are right in front of the Duracell Camaro driven by defending Trans Am champion Scott Sharp. So action all over the place here as Pickett now tries to tuck it right up on the inside of Jack Baldwin. He can't find the room to make the challenge for the pass.
And Scott Sharp has a little under 12 laps to make his bid. He has lost a lot of time, but this is the group he is now chasing. Jack Baldwin and Greg Pickett.
And you know that Paul Gentilozzi has got to be loving every moment of this. After his dramatic charge from the 10th row, starting 19th, to grab the lead, he had been inching away while the various battles were going on behind him. That's given Gentilozzi a little bit of breathing room with Tommy Archer in the number 3 car running second. Here's Pickett now trying to move to the inside. Pickett picks up a position as he gets by Baldwin.
Long braking zones here so they can come and make an attack from 2 or 3 car lengths back, which is what we saw Greg Pickett do here. So an excellent run down the inside of Baldwin, takes the line, and now Pickett's on the move.
Pickett takes over third place, chasing Gentilozzi and Archer. Baldwin and Sharp now complete the top 5 at Portland.